Many excellent games don't require a powerful PC. But what about those players who value graphics and are ready to splurge to admire the best-looking games out there? It's not always about graphics. However, why settle for less if you can afford top-notch performance and crisp graphics? For all of you thinking like that, don't worry, we got you covered. It's impossible to talk about high-end PC games without mentioning Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024, just as it was nearly impossible to get it off the ground at launch. Asobo Studios' aerial experience hasn't really debuted, it crash-landed with no survivors. Visually, the game is breathtaking, almost otherworldly, but it's also bogged down by bugs and still struggles with performance issues to this day. If you can navigate past those turbulence-inducing flaws, you'll find an advanced flight simulation that gives you the entire world to explore. There's a career mode with various missions, though you're free to chart your own course and spend hundreds of hours in the skies. Just be prepared for a bumpy flight. Games from the Metro series have always been a visual delight, and Exodus is no exception. This third entry in the Metro series is, without a doubt, the most beautiful one yet. In the latest installment, players get to explore a much larger part of the world above Moscow's underground. Once again, we step into Artem's shoes as he searches for a new life in Eastern Russia. During our journey, we'll be able to see such beautiful places as the swampy areas of Volga or the sunny, vast Caspian Desert. All of this is enhanced by cutting-edge features like ray tracing and DLSS. This list would be incomplete without this glorious remake of the beloved JRPG classic, wouldn't it? Square Enix made PC players wait for quite some time for it to be released, but it was absolutely worth it. The new version of Final Fantasy VII contains only part of the original story and serves as more or less the prologue of what's to come. It still takes around 35 hours to complete, so you don't have to worry about it being just a demo. But why have we considered this remake one of the best games for high-end PC? Cloud's doors are truly next-gen now. Star Citizen is undoubtedly one of the most ambitious crowdfunding projects to date. This MMO plunges you into a vast universe, allowing you to chart your course. As a spaceship pilot, your journey will take you to every corner of the galaxy, where you can undertake various missions, transport cargo, and engage in trade. But you're not confined to the cockpit of your craft. You can stretch your legs and look at things from a completely different perspective. It's not just one of the best-looking PC games, it's an experience. Horizon Forbidden West Complete Edition stands out as one of the best-looking games of 2025. Much like many other former PlayStation exclusives, everything from the environment to the characters is stunning. Beyond its visuals, the title excels in world-building, immersing you in a post-apocalyptic setting where machines and humans coexist. Aloy reprises her role as the protagonist, embarking on a journey to the west to confront an imminent threat to the entire land and its inhabitants. Expect extensive exploration and engaging battles against diverse adversaries. This CD Projekt Red's release didn't have a smooth start the players could have wished for, but that's all in the past because after tons of patches and hotfixes, Cyberpunk 2077 is finally what it should have been from the beginning. It's a jaw-dropping and stunning RPG experience both visually and gameplay-wise. Traverse through neon-lit Night City as the Mercenary 5, admiring the futuristic beauty of this unforgiving, brutal world. Even if you finish the game, it's worth revisiting, especially now with the addition of Phantom Liberty. Hanging out a little longer with Johnny Silverhand sounds like a decent plan. Andy's latest adventures on the big screen were quite disappointing, but the developers at Machine Games have brought the iconic hero to his former glory. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is an adventure game set after the events of Raiders of the Lost Ark, so the protagonist isn't quite ready for retirement yet. The game incorporates a first-person perspective, a choice that sparked some doubt before release, but ultimately hit the mark. Players explore locations around the globe, starting with the Vatican, solve a variety of puzzles, and kick Nazi butts along the way. It looks stunning and is packed with witty dialogue as well as plenty of callbacks to the films. After visiting the rainy UK in Forza Horizon 4, it's time for a bit of a change of scenery. In the latest installment, the Horizon Festival takes place in Mexico's breathtaking, vibrant, open-world landscapes. You can immerse yourselves in a campaign with hundreds of rewarding challenges and explore both lush jungles and snow-capped volcanoes. There's quite a lot to explore and admire here. Forza Horizon 5 is without a doubt one of the most beautiful games out there. The first pick in our collection is a sequel to the critically acclaimed A Plague Tale: Innocence. This time, however, it's prepared only for next-gen consoles and powerful PCs. Once again, we follow Amicia and her younger brother Hugo on their journey to cure the little boy of his terrible illness. A Plague Tale: Requiem is undoubtedly one of the most demanding PC games. Not without reason, as its visuals are stunning. Beautiful landscapes of medieval France and terrifying floods of rats might make your jaw drop in awe. Requiem and many other PC games with the best graphics are part of PC Game Pass, a subscription service from Microsoft that gives users access to an ever-growing library of titles. Boy, who doesn't recognize this famous quote from the acclaimed God of War? If you're unfamiliar with it, catch up, because Dawn of Gods, quote-unquote, Saga Ragnarok, is slated for release on PC in September. Its predecessor is equally enjoyable and certainly not lacking in visual appeal. Just look at this game! Isn't it simply gorgeous? High-end graphics aren't the only thing it has to offer, but its visuals can make slaying Norse gods only more fun. So, let's pick Kratos' Leviathan axe and slay some Draugr. Games from Sony's consoles tend to have dazzling looks. When it first came out in 2018, Red Dead Redemption 2 pushed past-gen consoles to their limits. A year later, it became one of the games to show off your high-end rig, and in 2025, it still requires a robust build to realize how beautiful this Wild West adventure is. If you play only on PC, don't worry about the number 2 in the title. It's a prequel to the original story, so you don't have to own a PS3 or Xbox 360 to understand the whole story, and trust us, following Arthur Morgan's journey for redemption, or quite the opposite, is absolutely worth it. Another former PlayStation exclusive is on our list. In this open-world action game, you play as friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, one of the most beloved superheroes of all time, swinging around New York City and beating the criminals' butts. The PC edition contains all the DLC from the console edition and graphical improvements, such as NVIDIA DLSS, ray tracing, and many more. Is it one of the best games for a high-end rig you've just bought? No doubt about that. If you find yourself craving more after finishing the base game, standalone continuation, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales is also out on PC. While Peter Parker is out of NYC, a new man is on the job. We get to explore the city in winter, which will instantly lift your Christmas spirit. From the start, Kingdom Come: Deliverance demonstrated Warhorse Studios' talent for creating challenging and engaging titles. The sequel builds on this in numerous ways and is likely to be regarded as an example of the best graphics in games released in 2025, as well as a strong contender for Game of the Year. Set in an open-world 15th century Bohemia, this medieval RPG excels due to several factors: its immersive atmosphere and gameplay, grand scope, and captivating story. Despite the vast world, the game is visually breathtaking with graphics that will leave medieval history fans in awe. If your PC can handle Kingdom Come: Deliverance 2, definitely give it a shot. The Last of Us Part 1 is essential for any list of the best-looking games. Initially criticized for a wonky PC port, it has since been improved, allowing all gamers to re-experience Joel and Ellie's emotional journey. If you haven't yet explored Naughty Dog's post-apocalyptic world, we strongly encourage you to do so. The game is a modern masterpiece with breathtaking landscapes, lifelike characters, and exceptional gameplay. Considering its sequel might land on Steam soon, it's high time to catch up! Fans of the original Alan Wake had to wait over a decade for a sequel, but it was worth it. The game boasts realistic graphics, meticulously crafted character animations, and an immersive atmosphere that draws you into its gripping story. Alan Wake 2 is one of those high-end PC games that looks so amazing, you can't help but stop and take in the beautiful scenery. The narrative interweaves the destinies of the two protagonists. A best-selling novelist, Alan Wake, finds himself trapped in a nightmarish world beyond reality. Meanwhile, Saga Anderson, a skilled FBI agent, works to unravel the mystery behind ritualistic murders in the small town of Bright Falls. If you're thirsty for more mysteries and bizarreness, consider getting the deluxe edition to access the Night Springs DLC. If you're looking for the best games for a high-end PC that you've just bought, dive into Avatar: Frontiers of Pandora. It whisks you to the world of James Cameron's Avatar, where you experience the life of a Na'vi orphan raised and trained as a soldier by the Resources Development Administration. Now that you're back among your own people, you need to earn back their trust as you prepare to face off against the RDA, who plan to exploit the western frontier. You'll explore a vast open world, marvel at stunning landscapes, complete quests, and engage in battles with enemies. Undoubtedly, Dead Space 2023 is another excellent remake. EA Motive incorporated all the elements that made the original iconic and enhanced the overall experience significantly. While the most noticeable alterations are in the visual and audio aspects, there are other significant improvements as well. For instance, apart from looking and sounding splendid, there are no loading screens. Moreover, the main protagonist received a voice. Certainly, revisiting the USG Ishimura ship is worthwhile, unless it still triggers traumatic memories from the 2008 version. My selection of the PC games with the best graphics is already full of former PlayStation exclusives, but I couldn't resist adding just one more. In terms of visuals, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart is remarkable. Whether it's the fur that feels almost tactile or the way mechanical parts reflect light, the attention to detail is impressive. As for the gameplay, it's a 3D platformer where you navigate through platforming sequences and engage in combat with a variety of weapons. Join Ratchet and his robotic companion Clank on yet another colorful adventure. However, this time, you also team up with Rivet, a resistance fighter from another dimension. Many lost hope of seeing a sequel to Dead Island. Well, the wait is over at last. The second installment takes the player to a scorching Los Angeles plagued by the zombie apocalypse. Interestingly, some lucky individuals gain special abilities after being bitten by a monster instead of becoming one of them. You assume the role of a survivor trying to uncover the truth about the epidemic outbreak and your powers. Along the way, you'll traverse the city, complete quests, and slay hordes of fiendish enemies. Admittedly, Dead Island 2 is pretty gory, but that doesn't take away from the fact that it's one of the best-looking PC games on the market. Even gruesome violence looks spectacular. Unquestionably, Hellblade 2: Senua's Saga sets a new standard for the best graphics in PC games, even surpassing its stunning predecessor. Moreover, the sound design enhances the visuals, creating a truly immersive experience. The only downside is that Senua's story is relatively short, as you can complete the campaign in one sitting. However, it might be better to take your time to soak in the atmosphere of 10th century Iceland. And yes, you can play the sequel before the original, as a recap is included. That said, Hellblade is still among the best-looking PC games and is absolutely worth your attention.